Hello, and welcome back to the You Amaze Me recording with myself, Amanda Baker. And we are actually doing things a little different today. Today, I have Charlotte Logan here, and we are joining our two podcast platforms. So you're here with me on the You Amaze Me recording, where story meets soul and soul meets story. And then you're also here with Charlotte. So go ahead. Will you share a little bit about your podcast, your platform?
Yes, so thank you for having me. I'm really excited, and it is new to kind of join two podcasts together. So that's really exciting, and I'm really happy to be here. So my podcast is called Let's Talk by Charlotte Logan. And basically, I created this podcast to have authentic talks and deeper talks, but yet not heavy. To be able also to just like take things lightly, but yet going deeper into subjects of life and discover a bit more and reconnect to our true selves.
Beautiful and so similar. I think both of our platforms or these spaces where we hold conversations are really this sacred space to be open, authentic, deep, share wisdom, open to new perspectives. And so if Charlotte joins us or our us coming together. Let me
Mm.
just share a little bit about Charlotte. And we're keeping this super authentic, super informal. So
Yeah,
bear with us
exactly.
as we do this for the first time. But
Yes.
Charlotte, yeah, so Charlotte Logan, she's a mom of three, yogi of 20 years, so yogi like me, newly a holistic life coach, and a published author, just like me. She's the creator of the online program Five Keys to Success. It's a 5 week course that you can do at your own pace to help you get rid of unserving patterns and behaviors. So, those limiting beliefs, the repeated kind of negative occurrences in your life, in order to create positive change within consistency and to move into a state of joy and inner fulfillment, that blissful state. I can't wait to hear more about.
So yeah, my turn. My turn to present you, Amanda.
Yeah,
And I actually like love your bio so much. I had to make it a bit shorter, like
I'm
just to make
wordy. I'm very wordy, so I appreciate that.
love it, love it. It's beautiful. So Amanda, you have been a licensed mental health therapist for over 10 years and a yoga instructor with speciality in yoga psychology for over 5 years. And what I love is you integrate somatic based approaches through yoga and therapy. You say that you identify yourself as a human who impacts and influences others through the power of presence and intuition. And that was like, wow.
Mm,
You
mhm.
published two poetry collections and a brand called You Amaze Me, which also includes your podcast, a community that acts as a movement of remembering one's true self. And yeah, that's just beautiful. And I understand why we connected.
Me too. Me too. And so the people know so many of especially the recent people that I've been doing these conversations with have come about really spontaneously, unexpectedly, through virtual ways of connecting. And so people know we're across the world from each other. You're not even in the United States, right? So we're in
Exactly.
different countries.
Exactly. It's really, I live in Lisbon, Portugal. I'm half French, half English, but I've been living in Lisbon for 6 years now. Yeah.
Wow. Yes. So I love the way that technology can bring people
Mm,
together
mm.
and the conversations that you and I have already had. And it's the way that we're supporting each other and cheering each other on and collaborating to be able to offer things like this.
Yeah. And I do really, because there is a lot of, I mean, the reality of social media and all the technologies can be quite negative and heavy. And like if you're not careful, if you don't use it properly, it can of course become addictive and really I think weigh you down. But I've really learned like through um, collaborations and meeting amazing people living basically, yeah, 1,000 kilometers away. I'm just amazed. I'm like, this is really special. And so, yeah, magic does happen. We're literally,
Yes.
yeah, so technology is magic in a way.
Is magic, right? Right. It's energy, and
Yeah.
it's like quantum physics. There's a science to it, and there has to be, like, we use the word magic, and I think that's a big part of what brought us together is our shared fascination with magic, because there's still the unseen, what's happening that we can't see or can't logically or don't logically make sense of,
Mm,
for the way that we came across each other's pages and then decided to start liking each other's posts and then
exactly. Mm,
messaging each other and sharing stories. So it is that discernment of how to utilize social media in a non-addictive way, and in a way that is nourishing and fulfilling. So, but
exactly.
yes, I think magic's really that word.
It is. And yeah, and I think it's there's no judgment to, because I think we all get caught into this kind of addiction, because
Hmm.
it's not really due to, I mean, some can get maybe more addicted than others depending on our traits, our personalities and stuff, but it is made to make us, like, kind of want more, do more, have more, like many things in the world nowadays. And so it's just a matter of also of not judging that, and maybe just realizing it. Like, I know personally I've got caught in it. I've got caught in it, and that kind of need of, like, okay, I have to post more, say more, and it's always this more, and it's like, no, awareness of, okay, this is wonderful, and it can be
Hmm.
magical if it is fulfilling, if we use it the right way, and we're very conscious about, then
That
yeah,
consciousness.
like, you can also have fun. Why not? It doesn't always have to be like deep and serious. It can, you can also have fun, and and like some funny videos or jokes or whatever. But I think it's just a matter of being aware, having your limits, your boundaries, and knowing when it's too much so it doesn't become unhealthy or toxic.
Exactly. And that's that consciousness and awareness, so that you take breaks and that
Mm,
you pause. You
mm,
can catch yourself and notice when you're in that more mentality, and where that's coming from, right? Is it coming from, I need reinforcement, I need to be liked or accepted, or I'm trying to achieve or win something, as opposed to, I'm here because I something of value that I want to share or to entertain. Like you said, sometimes it's silly. You're watching things and laughing, or I've seen you like dancing on your pages and stuff, and having fun with it and connecting
exactly.
with people. Yeah.
Exactly. Having fun. And that's really something where I've also become very, yeah, just like conscious about it, in the way that sometimes we want to, or at least I wanted to, I like to share things. I like to go deep. I like to understand, and I like if I can help or uplift. But just like having fun is so important, because
Hmm.
when I do share, it's because it fulfills me. It's because it comes from somewhere that truly makes me happy. And that's joy.
That's
And
joy.
yeah, and it's like, also a matter maybe of letting go and be able to say, well, it doesn't always have to be in this certain format, way, image. Um,
Yes.
yeah, let's just be ourselves and show also sides of ourselves that we are. And yeah, it's just, it is what
Yes.
it is.
To make it more real, because I think, even whenever we're very, you and I are uh, very much on Instagram a lot. That's
Mm,
one of the main platforms I use the most.
yeah,
And
me
I
too.
think about when Instagram first came out, gosh, was that 20 years ago? I don't remember exactly, but it was more about posting just pictures. People would post about their food, what food they're eating, or where they're traveling. And it, to me, at that point in time, I didn't use it very much, because if it felt fake. It felt like people, and maybe it wasn't fake, like those were real things that people were doing, but it felt like people were showing just what they wanted others to see, only
Mm,
more of like the glamour side of things. And the little pockets that I find now, or that I tend to uh, pref- prefer on Instagram, is that realness, and to show more of the whole human experience. Like, I've shared times where I've been a picture of me crying, or recently when my cat passed away, and the joy and the fun, and to open up so that it can be something that also can be real, because I think people get caught up in, like, social media is just the exaggeration of things. But if you utilize it in that more intentional way, where it's fulfilling not just from the excitement and the reinforcement, but also fulfilling because you can know that you're not alone, and that you can meet people that are similar, that you feel a resonance with. And I think that's a really beautiful thing, and I appreciate it for that.
Yeah.
And it seems
And I
like
think,
you do too.
well, I think we are very much in need of
Mm,
realness.
realness.
Because as you said, it has been so many years, this surface level of I've got the perfect life, I've got the perfect car, I've got the husband, I've got whatever it is, the bags, the shoes, whatever. And so it's very much by all the exterior validation and what we possess. And while that can inspire and maybe motivate you to like say, oh yeah, I want a life like that. Like I'm going to be my best to be able to have goals and do this and that, which can be good, but it creates also a lot of suffering
Hmm.
and um, unworthiness. I'm not enough because I don't have, I'm not capable. I don't know that I'm capable of having that or creating it. And when we're kind of confronted daily with that all the time, it creates suffering and it can really become very hard to kind of live. And um, yeah. And so the realness, showing the real parts of ourselves, whether they're happy or sadder or more introspective, reflective, whatever, being able to be real. Like when I dance in my kitchen, that's literally me just dancing in my kitchen. Like I do it like that. Like that's just,
Yes.
okay, record. I'm going to do that. Let's just get some energy out.
Yes, and I love that. I love that.
And
Because
I
I do
understand
that
it's not
too.
for
But
everyone, but
yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't, right, we don't need to cater to everyone. I think that's another thing to remember. And it's interesting that we got on this topic about social media. I
yes,
think it's very important to talk about, especially it is how you and I, one, show ourselves and express through our creativity, and it's also how we share our business, share our passion, share our work, and how we're here to serve. And so
exactly.
to remember that what you are sharing doesn't have to cater to everyone, and we don't need to change ourselves or even change the way we're showing up or how we're marketing for the standard, or
Mm,
for the most people, as opposed to for the right people, the ones that it's going to land and
exactly.
really impact.
Mm,
So this idea, because you used the word, I liked it. You said being intentional, aware, and conscious. So is that a lot of, or a part of the work that you do, or the what you tend to emphasize and support people in, is helping others to become more conscious and more aware?
it is to become, because when we become more conscious and more aware of of so many layers, so many things, obviously, basically it is in a way digging deeper into yourself to be able to find that light potential. You can call it many ways, but to be able to find that there is this kind of transformation that I feel that must kind of occur, that you have to
Hmm.
be willing to do. It's not like, oh yeah, I want to be like that and then just be happy and then it's all done. So it's really a matter of like, yeah, becoming conscious of our behaviors, how we feel, how we think, our our habitual thoughts or thinking patterns, are they positive? Are they serving or are they rather kind of diminishing? And kind of be able to point that out, write it down, take note of it and realize and say, okay, well, that's not serving me. I'm going to change that. I'm going to switch it and see how I feel afterwards.
Yes.
It's not going to happen overnight. Of course, it requires, repetition and putting in some
Mm-hmm.
work, and again, the
Mm-hmm.
will to, to feel better, to embody your own energy and just be more present with who you are. And that's really what I want to help people access or have access to be able
Yes.
to be yourself with authenticity and just pure, basically, I'm whole, I'm me, and I'm present.
Mm.
Um,
The
and when you
power
can
of being.
arrive somewhere or meet
Mm.
someone, whatever, like that, it's not being vulnerable for me in the way that you're like, oh, I'm showing all of me. This is vulnerable. And maybe people are going to take advantage of it. Or maybe, like, this is scary. It's really so empowering for you and for the people around you that I don't know, I can't explain it. There is a switch in dynamics, in attitudes,
Mm-hmm.
in way
Mm-hmm.
people see you, feel maybe magnetically attracted to you, or there's
Mm-hmm.
something happens. And I think it's just a recognition of seeing each other. I see
Wow.
you, you know.
Yes. And that can happen through a screen. I truly feel that's what the magic is, the energy. It's the energy that's felt between you and a person by seeing, right? So seeing is like, oh, okay, you have brown hair, you're wearing a white shirt, you have glasses on. But
Mm,
seeing is like, here's another human being that's still across the screen that I can like feel that your presence is so warm. It's calming. It creates that sacred space, right, that feels safe for us to be able to open to
mm,
each other. And
yeah.
so by you showing presence, by you showing awareness, by you showing consciousness, that it helps another to feel it and experience it, and then to start to do it themselves little
Exactly.
by little. And they might leave that exchange being like, oh, I liked that. Even for people listening now, by hearing the words, or if they're watching,
Mm.
that it's the subtle shifts of, can I pause right here in this moment, soften my muscles, breathe, and that be my presence, my awareness, my consciousness. And that's the healing, that's the intervention, that's the therapeutic technique. We don't need these big grand like step by step manuals to do it. And it's simple and it's hard because we're not used to it. But you're truly, I commend us both, because, and it's hard for me sometimes to um, admit or boost myself. But I really do commend us both for the practices that we do for ourselves, that we're then showing others more naturally, that then ripples and impacts.
Yeah. It is so many things. It can be oops, that wow. Do you hear the plane? That's like
I
loud.
do hear the plane. I hear the plane.
It's crazy. Like there's literally this airway just there. So yeah, that was like back to awareness, back to consciousness. All right, we're here.
Yes.
So what was I saying? I can't remember now. That was like kind of very loud. Um,
That's okay. Maybe that was our natural
maybe,
segue of like, notice
yeah,
the
yeah,
plane. That's enough. Like, you both we're on it.
maybe, yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe we could switch on to something else. But these practices, like there's even because I wanted to like come back to something you said when um,
Yes.
allowing, like when the person can feel that, you allow them to be able to do the same and maybe say, oh well, I can do that with someone else, and then it is a ripple effect. And I do talk about kindness a lot, or I've talked about kindness a lot, and just like small acts of kindness, we don't realize sometimes how much it can impact someone in their life or just their day. Sometimes it can sound ridiculous. You're like, oh, I was nice to someone, it's nothing, it's normal. But for them, it was like, wow, like she was really nice and she really smiled and she was there. She saw me. I just needed that in that moment because I had a bad phone call and I had bad news and we don't know. And so I love that too, like how we can
Too.
impact someone else's life just by being genuinely kind and just seeing someone. You don't have to force yourself to be, ha ha, I'm super, super nice, super kind. It's just like, I also love this practice, which is a practice, and I talk about it in my book, The Path to Deliverance, which is a guide for mothers. But I talk about the notion of love, where it's not love in the sentimental way. It's not love like when you're in love with someone. It's just the true, pure feeling sensation of love for just seeing another person, acknowledging their presence and their existence. Like if I go to the bakery and I buy bread, you can just go in there, say, oh, I want a baguette or whatever, not even look at the person in the eye, pay and leave, and that's it. And usually that's how we function, and that's how people kind of, and they're behind their counter and they're just like used to people not really looking at them. And I really like to come in, see the person, look at the person in the eye. And sometimes I see they're like, whoa, she's looking at me. And
Right?
it
Because we're not used to that.
yeah, it's like this little fraction of like, woo, okay, what's going on? Because we are really seeing the other person. The other person is feeling seen.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this switch that happens within, and they're like, oh, maybe I can do that again with someone else. Maybe I
Yeah.
can like lead into that and really see someone and be more present when there's someone in front of me, rather than being a robot and going through our day without thinking or being present or just conscious of our
Right.
actions.
Because we're so in a rush of on to the next thing, or the mind is reeling so quickly. And so to be intentional and conscious of, I'm in the grocery store, I'm at the checkout counter, and I'm gonna make eye contact and smile at this person. That does something for the person on the other side of the checkout counter and for you. It's
Mhm.
also for you of,
Of course.
wow, I get to make eye contact and feel into this moment, and then see what happens. Then see how I feel when I walk away from that, or the impact that that made for somebody else. And that's beautiful. I love that practice that you can do in the moment. And I think that because we're so caught up in the go, 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 and the autopilot and the distractions, the overstimulation, and we can blame the world for that, but also it's on us. It's on us to say kind of what brings me to the moment. And it might not be slowing down. Some people do feel more attuned and connected when there is more going on, but you can still be present in that. And so to have those in the moments, and also to take time to breathe, or to do a meditation or yoga, because it's those things that support the consistency of change along with the in the moment experience. I truly believe that we benefit from both.
Yes, definitely. And I do talk about consistency too. I really love this word. I use it quite a lot. Consistency. I have learned consistency with yoga naturally, just not being able. At first, it would be implementing yoga. Okay, I'm going to go 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week. Now, like it's so natural, I can't go without it. And this consistency has brought me a life lesson of persistence and consistency just in my life, not just for the
Wow.
practice.
Right.
How do I respond? How do I create my days and my weeks? And it really brought me this like, yeah, um, powerful kind of energy of consistency, persistence that I didn't have necessarily before. And it really was built through this practice.
So it
And
helped you outside of that.
oh,
Hmm.
so much, so much. And I know we do hear it quite a lot when we say, yoga practice is not only on your mat, you can take it out
Right.
with you throughout your day. But it's true. It's like, yeah, it brings focus, it brings so much.
So much skill that you don't necessarily intend to have happen that naturally does if you keep up with it.
Mm,
And it's a metaphor for me for life. What you're doing on your mat, holding a posture, flowing from one to the next, using your breathing, is how you can then live your life in the transition and in the practice of being present in that awareness too, in connection to your body, but also outside of that, and how you're planning your days and ultimately living your life.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
because yoga sometimes, obviously, it's very hard during, like, if you do an hour, there's this moment where it's going to get like super tough and you're in the fire
Hmm.
and it's like, and your mind can get really busy and like, whoa, okay, how am I going to handle this? This is hurting. This is okay. This is very powerful. This is too strong. Like, okay, this is burning, whatever. And so it really brings you to kind of, in a way, really be able to go with the heat and kind of not freak out in a way when it's like intense, and see
Yeah.
how you can like rebalance that and kind of manage it in a way where it's acceptable for you, but you have to accept some uncomfort. And again, in life, that has helped me so much. Like when life gets challenging, when it gets tough, and you're in the heat of the moment, am I going to explode? Am I going to go crazy or whatever and like overreact, or maybe just freak
Mhm.
out or let everything just,
Or give up.
crumble,
Mhm.
give up? No,
Yes.
I am not. And I'm going to try and find comfort in the uncomfortable.
In the uncomfortable. That's my line too. It's exactly
Yeah.
what I say. It's, yes, yes. Can you find the nugget of comfort in the uncomfortable? Yeah, and when you do that with your body, you can do that mentally, you can do that emotionally, sensationally. And it is so powerful. And there's so many different forms of yoga. And to me, yoga can be laying on your mat for an hour and it's still yoga, because that can be so uncomfortable to be still for that long.
Still,
Or the opposite, holding a strengthening balancing pose.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So how does this tie in with success? I'm curious about your experience in previous ways of looking or experiencing success to how you perceive it and the meaning that you make of it now.
Mm. Yes, this has been like something that's really it's been really dear to me because I have always, I think, since I've been very young, I've always liked to perform. I've always liked to sing, to dance, to act, do theater, whatever. And I've always wanted basically to be in that kind of field, but I never really pursued it. And I think I just didn't believe in myself, but I still had that kind of inner dream. And um, probably because I feel that success, when we see it in others, we think, wow, it must feel so good. Success must feel amazing. And when you're a child or younger or a teenager, like, oh, success must be just like, maybe it's like dancing on a stage and feeling that energy and that success of people cheering you on and like loving what you're doing. And that was really something I think has always been with me all my life. And through my own journey, self discovery and learning and going through challenges of life and huge changes, I have got to like really want to study that and understand
Mm.
that
Hmm.
true success. I mean, it doesn't mean we mustn't want to go after those things. If you like entertain, or if you even want to be, I don't know, TV presentator, well, not, well, go for it. Like that's your passion, do it. And but only counting on again the success where we are rewarded from external factors.
External. Yes.
Um,
Yes. And like the
wonderful
bigger
and
things.
yes, like these bigger things outside of us. It can be money, it can be people, it can be objects, it can be material stuff that we have. We go, ah, this feels, and it does. Like in the moment, there is this, yeah, it feels wonderful, doesn't it? It's exciting and it's fulfilling, but it's not fulfilling for long, and it doesn't last that long.
Not at
Sometimes
all.
sooner or yeah, fast enough, you're like, okay, well, that was great, but now what next? And there's
Yeah.
this,
What's the next? Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's kind of a down after that where you're like, okay, so I've got that. Okay, what's the next thing? So again, so you want to maybe, yeah, kind of shoot for the stars and go high and want something bigger or better. Again, it's not a bad thing, but I think it's really understanding that you don't want to go like in these up and downs all your life. Like I've
That's
experienced it. It's not,
intermittent. Uh-huh. That
yeah,
inner, if you're familiar with intermittent reinforcement from a scientific or mathematical experimental stance, that it's intermittent reinforcement is one of the most addictive forms of conditioning, because you think, oh, I got it this time. I got this high up. This felt so great. Oh, but it short term doesn't last long. Oh, now I'm back here and I'm in the low again. I need that high, but then the next time might not give you that. So then, oh, now I'm going to try even harder. End up putting so much energy that ends up being draining when it's about that external reward versus that intrinsic, I'm doing these things because I love them idea.
it is
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
exhausting. And sometimes
Exhausting.
you can go after something all your life and never get it. And that's
Right.
where I'm like, I at some point I was like, I don't want to live like that. And
Mhm.
I'm like, wow, that must be like really hard. Like I've known people who've had a lot, who had everything and lost almost everything. And I haven't experienced it as much as they have in terms of what it represented. Not that
Mhm.
it's less, but just like I can't even imagine like the downfall, like just the down, like how do you even get up again and like handle all that? And I think it's that's where I really got so interested and really just like this passion of wanting to share what true success is. It doesn't mean it doesn't have two sides of it. There's the external, but there's also the inside, the internal. That is
Mhm.
the foundation. That is the nurturing foundation for maybe the success you are wanting, going after, wanting to manifest. Um, if you have that foundation, if you can create that balance, then whether you actually make it as in your vision or not, or whatever, it won't be so. Because at the end of the day, you know, okay, we're going to live our lives and we're going to make most of it. But okay, you don't want to end up dying at the end when you're older and thinking, oh, I'm like, I feel so like, um, regret, like
The
regret.
regret or
That
unfulfilled.
emotion,
That
yeah, that feeling of regret. Like I can't even imagine how it must feel. Like you're there and you're like, okay, so I actually didn't listen to myself. I actually didn't
mm,
really live. I think I was living all this time. I was going for this and I was shooting for the stars and wanting big goals and stuff, and I wasn't living and I wasn't really there
yeah,
with myself. And that weight, I don't want to feel that. I don't
of
want
course.
to.
And to realize that now and to catch yourself or check on yourself now, I think provides you with, well, one, the intention to live presently and the shift of perspective in the way that you're showing up to then it's I noticed myself wanting to say, like, in enjoying the process, right? If you're so focused
Mhm.
on, I need to become this famous dancer, then everything that you pursue is about that end result. Am I going to get closer to be the famous dancer? Am I going to get closer to that? Or it could be, we go back to social media. Oh, I need to have 10,000 followers. Now I need to have 100,000 followers, as if it's about the followers that it means success. Whereas maybe you got one wholesome comment. I mean, if we think about what it means if you get, let's say you get like 10 likes on a post and you're feeling sad about that because you're like, that's not enough, or I wanted this many, I'm trying to reach this measurable objective goal. Whereas if you had 10 people in a day say something kind to you, imagine how great you would feel from that. And so when we can put these things in the perspective of appreciating and really taking in the moment of the process. Like you say, you can still want to be that famous dancer or grow in whatever form. But if you love each moment that leads up to it, whether it's a failure, right, a way that you might need to pivot, or if it is something that is motivating and reinforcing you in a certain direction, that is that like inner energy or that intrinsic motivation of it's that process. I think that we are more, can we be more addicted to the process than addicted to
Yeah.
trying to
Oh, that was
result?
wonderful. Love that.
Yeah, we can still have addictions. It's in our
Yeah,
nature.
exactly.
But can we be obsessed with the like this is fun coming in here and just recording this? I like the recording more than how many people are going to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. That is what it's about. And it's true, it's so much nowadays. And again, it's not like I like to say, it's not our fault in the way that, we're just like, in a way, we are conditioned and kind of trained in a way because we see things, we hear things every day, and it's how it works. And so, it's really like achievement. Everything has to be achieve, and numbers and this and yeah, just always more and bigger. And we can get lost into that, and it feels really just like, and I think again social media is a wonderful exercise, is if you are getting 10 or whatever likes, or when you feel that within, like, that's all, and well, that's not much, and like others are having so many or whatever, that little thing is like, here's your sign. How
Here's your
you feel,
sign.
how can you,
Yes.
like, is this like, do you want to, is this really worthy of, like, exactly, worth, like numbers, comparing all that.
Comparing.
How
Mhm.
can you feel comfortable with and grateful and just happy of, like, yeah, like I've connected with like 10 people today that have amazing comments, yeah, and it's just amazing, and that's enough. It's
And
enough.
it's enough. Whether it's one or 20, 100, it's
Yeah.
enough. And to come back to the like I use the word resonance a lot because it's really the feeling that comes up when maybe you read a comment or even for yourself of like, oh, I posted that vulnerable thing or I posted that fun thing. How do I feel from my decision to post it? I was excited to post it, or maybe I was nervous to post it, though I still did that, and letting that be enough. And also, like you said, not going into the judgment or shaming yourself if you find yourself checking it a lot or having the thoughts of like, it's not enough. You can notice that. That's where the awareness is of we've kind of been trained to have this focus on the numbers and the comparison, and that's not just going to go away. But can you notice it without being so caught up and overtaken by it?
Exactly. And not too self-judgmental, because then we think, oh, I have a problem. I'm like this. Why do, it's good to notice, it's good to be able to be aware of it, but it not like criticize ourselves and have that negative talk of like, oh, see how you are comparing this. And it's good to be aware. Okay, how can you feel good about it and see what it brought you, and why you did it, as you said. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And taking the moment to, I know sometimes people will get frustrated and they'll be like, I'm going off social media or I'm closing my phone. And I actually encourage people like, no, stay there, not the scrolling, but can you pause with your phone open? Can you pause and look at the likes or look at something that might feel uncomfortable for you? Like in the practice of yoga,
Mm,
can we be in that discomfort and let it exist as it is and hold it or breathe with it for a
yeah,
little longer?
exactly. Wonderful exercise.
Yeah.
Like,
Thank you. Thank you. Well, Charlotte, do you have any questions or other specific things that you wanted to share?
um, well, as we said, we were talking about, well, many things which I love, because we kind of like covered several things that came up spontaneously. Yeah, I don't know if you have anything to say regarding this, the success, or what success really is, or true success. I mean, I think maybe we could do maybe another talk, or I don't know. I think,
I would love to, yes, I would love to continue the conversation and to keep coming back. We talked about even doing a live on Instagram where we might share a little more about our yoga. I do before we end, I do want to have us pull an oracle card here so we can see if
oh,
that
lovely.
brings up any anything. So you have though the 5 keys to success program. Are you willing to give the listeners and myself, I'm curious, a little sneak peek, a hint maybe at what are one of, because it's, you said 5 keys.
Mm.
What's one key to success? And maybe you already touched on it, or a hint about it if you don't want to want to give it all away.
Okay, so which one shall I choose? Um, I will choose number 3, which is higher frequencies, higher vibrational state of being. Um, it's key number 3, and there are 2 before that lead up to that. And the way I designed this program is it's like it's for 5 weeks, but you can do it at your own pace. Why I suggest 5 weeks is because 1 key per week, I kind of help and recommend to implement certain things during week 1, week 2, week 3, so it does become a habit, a new habit. And so it creates real change rather than just like going through something and then you remember it and then suddenly, oh, forgot about it and it's over and never existed. So again, as we know, consistency, perseverance, it doesn't come just like that. So you have to implement it and be rigorously present every day and like really implement it. So that's why there are 5 weeks. And key number 3 is basically I share what it means to vibrate higher, why vibrating higher brings you to a certain state of being that does open doors, create opportunities of, connecting with people, with having these, yeah, situations, circumstances that arise, and you're like, wow, like, okay, what's going on here? You are really in a state of attracting what you desire, but what you truly
Mhm.
desire.
Yes.
And sometimes we think we truly desire something, for example, I don't know, a car, this brand new car, but you realize it's more the brain that really wants that. So you might not manifest that, but you
Right.
will manifest something that's on a higher frequency that's much more dear to you than that car. And that's going to happen. And you're going to go, wow.
That's the magic
Yes, you're
too.
like,
Like,
woo.
well, and
It is a bit weird
frequency.
sometimes. It's like, oh my gosh, that's a lot to take in. So, and that's the magic of, yeah. And yeah, it lights me up. Like I love it. So that's key number 3. And so,
Thank you.
yeah, helping to be in that certain state of being, of vibrating.
Yeah. Are you willing to try something, and the listeners or watchers can do it too, even just taking your hands and rubbing them
Yeah,
together?
yeah.
Yeah. So if we rub our hands and get a little heat, a little friction, and then take your hands just about a inch or so apart. And what do you notice in between your hands?
Feel this.
Feel or no? I'm
Well, I
sorry?
feel like there's as if, like, if you push slightly, you want to push, there's this like little resistance or, um,
Mhm.
yeah,
There's something there. We
there's
can't
something
see it. You might feel resistance. You might
like you need to
feel
compress something a bit.
yes, right? Like a little tingle sensation. I kind of say that's like that magnetic. So I use that as a way to like get to sense your own energy, and our energy or our emotions. We can't see them, but they do when tested in research. They have a frequency. They have a vibration. So shame is one of the lowest frequency level vibration. This is from David Hawkins' map of consciousness, and the visual shows the actual frequency number, vibrational number of our states of our energetic emotional states or moods, with shame being one of the lowest, and like enlightenment being the highest, but joy and excitement's up there, even actually higher than love. Right. So to have that joy. And so, yeah, to move up in those frequencies, because that's what attracts like a magnet, right? In between your hands, those things of joy or gratitude and appreciation. Willingness is on there, Charlotte, which is really
Oh,
cool
really?
because yes. So pride is below willingness, because when we're in a state of pride, we can sometimes be in like, I'm better than you, but it's not, it's again, none of these are bad. It's just kind of the
Yeah,
level. And
lower.
so a willingness to get out of like our fear and our negativity, our shame and our guilt, and into the willingness then leads you to courage. And then courage can lead you up into um, more of the appreciation and the joy, the love, those energetic states.
Oh,
So
I love that.
I think, yeah, vibration and frequency is absolutely a key to success. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, I have experienced it and I feel it so finely now. I can't go through life differently now. It's impossible. I think I really, um, I think again, it's something you do master in a way by, the more you're conscious about it, the more you practice it, and the more you're just like working with it in a way. It's just a way of going through life differently. And I do live and go through life differently, and it's so much more fulfilling and just oh, it's hard to find, just like powerful, you know,
Powerful. Yes.
powerful
Yes.
and
Because you connect more. And when we're connected, even to ourself, that relationship with yourself, when you're connected, it does. It's magnifying and powerful and energizing. And then you're more inspired, and then you take action, and then you bring more into your life to create and to create what doesn't exist. And that's what we're doing. This conversation never existed before. Your program didn't exist. It came from an idea. And I just think the way we're so mysterious, and I'm so fascinated by humans and learning about them and getting to know people. So yeah, thank you for sharing more about your program. I hope people check it out. I too have a cohort that I'm going to be starting in late November. So I've
okay,
been shifting out of doing one-on-one individual therapy and
okay,
into more doing group type of work. And I have a group already now called Alchemize, that idea of kind of turning our lead into gold. And we meet regularly in person in Baltimore, Maryland. There's also Zoom options, and it's really about experiences. So it's sharing, my expertise and specialty with yoga psychology, with being a mental health therapist, but utilizing the power of the group energy and other people's wisdom. So people are in the group are starting to share more. And so
yeah,
that's an ongoing group, but this cohort is going to be specific for empathetic leaders, sensitive beings, those who might struggle with people pleasing, diminishing their light. So it's called the light cohort, to really shine in one's natural skills, talents, and abilities. So that's a 3-month weekly virtual meeting cohort that if anybody wants to check out, or even you and I can talk more about too, how we might collaborate together.
yeah,
I'd love to even maybe have you
wonderful.
join us and share your wisdom.
That's
So,
wonderful. Wow.
yes. So would we like to pick a card before we wrap
Yes,
up?
let's do this before we, yeah, exactly.
Yes. So I have a couple decks. I'll name a few, and if one stands out to you, then that can be what we pull from. So
Right.
I have, let's see, I have a women medicine deck. I have a woodlands animal deck, and then I have an herbal astrology deck. Is there any out of those three that stands out for you? I can name them again, or I can show them to you if you're more of a visual.
I think maybe the first one.
The first one, did I say medicine woman?
Women's, yeah.
Yep,
medicine work.
let's do it.
Let's do that.
Yes. Yep. And so this, even though it's named right after women, I think of it more as our feminine energy, which any gender, right? We all have feminine energy in us. And this is to reconnect with the ancestral wisdom of the powerful feminine. So I think
Oh,
that's
I
really
love that.
fitting for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
So I use
definitely
these.
do. Sorry, I
Oh,
cut you off. I do just like it is important that when you said it's not because it's like it's the feminine energy that it's just for women. And that's really important. Like the masculine and the feminine, we all have it within, and that's just a balance of energies. And like, okay, that's the feminine energy, but men have that within, and we have the
yes.
masculine within. So yeah, it's for everyone.
Yes. And I've even found in working with a lot of women and in our cultures and societies that even some women have almost embodied more masculine energy than their feminine, and connecting more to that feminine energy, even for women, is really really important, as much as, yes, for all, and finding that harmony
Yes,
with
exactly.
it, with both. So yeah, so I will shuffle and you tell me when to stop.
Okay.
See what we get. Okay, so then right or left hand.
Mm,
I was sensing left, and then top or bottom.
hmm.
Top. All right. So we have summer. Oh,
Okay.
okay. So summer, it says a time for blooming. Celebrate your success.
Oh my gosh. Yes, here we are. Oh, I love that.
Celebrate your success.
I love that. Oh my goodness. If
Me
that's
too. I
not,
cannot make this up. Because
yeah,
at
right.
first I was like, oh, summer, here we're in the fall, but
Yeah, right.
it's so funny.
Summer.
Mm-hmm.
There we
It
go.
wants, it really wants us to celebrate our success.
Yes.
So I'll
I love
I'll
that.
read what it says. I love it. I mean, that was our theme. Yes. So it says the summer solstice is celebrated on June 21st. It's the longest night of the year. The ceremonies provide a time to give thanks for what has been given and prepare to embrace what is coming. Life is in full swing with the sun, butterfly wings, flowers, and it's time to honor life in all of its expression of abundance, profusion, and sensuality. Life will flow by. This is associated with heat. So, whatever season you are in, whenever you pick this card, it indicates a time of fulfillment, shining, and blooming. Connect with the sun, awaken your sacred, joyful fire, release your creative energy, forge ties with that medicine feminine inside of you, affirm your talents with confidence, celebrate your success, and openly shine. Love seems to smile upon you. Give free rein to your sensuality and surrender to the pleasure. Togetherness holds this as a place of honor as you share and gather your loved ones around you, and life can be one big party. Beautiful. Look at me too. Yes. Yes. So I think for all of us here to really celebrate our successes and what it means for you in the moment by moment, in that internal uh, sensation or that internal fulfillment and resonance with the connections of what is around you, the people, your experiences, being more present, aware, and conscious, and utilizing the practices that we really all have access to in a more simple way. So yes. Well, this was a beautiful conversation. I'm so glad we could come together, and I definitely want to do this again. I'm happy to do a part two with you, and for others, they can look out for our Instagram live, where we'll go even deeper in a live way. Um, yes, so I'll put our Instagram names in the show notes and captions. You can do the same when you share this on your platform. It's a pleasure to be here with you and your listeners. So yeah, any final words as we sign off? Blissful, blissful. Yes, yeah. So wholesome. So Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to everyone for showing up for yourself and being here and listening with us today. Yes, you amaze me, and I love you.